going to look at your third powerhouse. This powerhouse is your heel to seat. Okay, for me, this has been one of my hardest ones to find because it's very subtle, and you want to try not to force it. You know, you don't want to squeeze your butt. That's not what we're talking about. So it's a very kind of deep internal connection. So we're going to start off just lying down on our, actually we'll start standing. We'll start standing. So you're going to stand in Pilates stance, okay? Don't you worry if you probably can't see my patch. I'll stand on the mat, you can see my feet. It doesn't really matter too much anyway. So you're in Pilates stance, and I want you to imagine that you are standing in super glue, and it's the stickiest of super glues. It's like Gorilla Glue. Nothing's going to shift it. And you want to try to lift your heels, okay? You're not actually going to lift them, but I want you to imagine that you want to lift your heels. What would that feel like if you were going to do it, okay? And you might feel something happen deep in your buttocks, just underneath your butt cheek, okay? And then just release. Again, I want you to try and pick up your heels out of this super glue. Try and really lift them, really lift them. Okay, you might feel something happen maybe even in the pelvic floor. Everything's kind of pulling up internally, and release. Okay, we'll just do that one more time. Trying to lift up those heels. Okay, see if you can feel that spot. And you can put your hands there, you can have a prod. Oh, am I feeling anything? If I pull my sits bones together, do I feel it? And if you can feel that little flicker, and it's really subtle, I want you to try and now lift from there to pick the heels up and to place them back down. Lift the heels up with your seat and put them back down. See, that was a better one for me. Because I could point my toes all day long to push my body weight up, but why lift my body weight with my toes when I could lift it with my strong-ish butt? Okay, so you're going to come and now you're going to lie down, and I want you to just lie with your legs long. You're going to flex the feet. Imagine that you're on the mat in your super glue. Okay, and you're just going to do that same exercise here. So you're going to think, right, okay, I'm going to pull my heels backwards to point my toes, and I'm going to pull them back from right underneath my butt cheeks, and I'm going to push my heels away. And again, I'm going to pull the heels back from underneath, and I'm going to push the heels away. Now I have days when this really feels very natural, and I have other days where I do have to fight to find it. So don't worry if you're not feeling it straight away. Okay, sometimes it will just suddenly click when the body is stretched in a certain way and it feels ready to receive this connection. Okay, so you're going to pause with your heels pulled back. Hopefully your bum is on. Gently pull the sits bones together, see if that helps. And before I go into the 100, I just want you to notice what would happen if I just squeezed my butt. I'm wondering if you'll see it. You see, if I actively grip my buttocks, it forces my pelvis into a different position. So that's why this is not just squeezing the buttocks. It's a softer internal lift that allows me to maintain neutral pelvis. So from there, I'm going to straighten my arms by my side. I'm going to lift the head, and I'm going to start pumping. Now, when you lift the head, very tempting there, suddenly you'll be like, oh, look at my pelvis, I can see it now. Release it. Release it into the mat. Let that lower back find its length whilst you're here. And you can do that as you exhale. You might need to check in. Oh, I could release it a bit more. You just keep doing that. Keep pulling the heels into your buttocks and just try and find the heavy legs, okay? So we're just going to go for 3 more here. Just keep releasing the tail and try not to overly grip with the toes, because that's the next thing that happens, and then it just cramp. And then lie down. Bring the arms by the side, bend the legs together, feet together. Think of your neutral pelvis, okay? We're not going to roll the marble, we're going to keep the marble in the middle. Just lift the hips 2 inches off the mat. Take the right leg and scrape it along the floor. Okay, it's hard on if the mat's sticky. Point the toes, see if you can find your seat and hover that leg barely off the mat. Trying to keep the pelvis as neutral as you can. I'm trying to find, you'll probably feel it in your bent leg. Bend the straight leg back in, put the hips down. Lift the hips as neutral as you can be. Left leg goes out straight and it hovers. You're trying to find your seat. See, it's harder to find it in the leg that's straight. Put the hips down. Lift up. Push into the floor to find the straight leg seat. Pull the leg back in, put the hips down. And again, lift. Pull back in. One more on each side. It's what I love about Pilates is how elusive it can be. Some days it all clicks into place, it all works as you want it. And then other days you have to really fight for it and pause. No 2 sessions are ever the same. So now you are going to come into double leg stretch. Okay, so this is going to be really fun for me if you've seen my previous video. So you're going to pull the knees in towards your chest, you're going to lift your head, eyes on your belly, and we're going to keep the hands by the side so we can really focus on the legs. So squeeze the heels, arms by the side, and just have a prod, push in, right, okay? This is where we're moving from, it's from right here, okay? So from that point, you're going to imagine energy. It's going to push through your legs, it's going to push through the back of the thighs, and it's going to send the legs out long. And it pulls back in. Squeeze the heels into your seat. Push them out from the bottom. Pull the heels in. It's like a hamstring curl on the back of the legs. And you can take these legs as low as you can go without your back arching, without your belly popping. Good. And in. Just focusing on your legs. And in. One more. And in, and rest it down. Next thing we're going to do is our double leg lower lift. Yeah, great one. So legs are straight. Now I'm going to have you for a moment, again, if you've got back issues, I wouldn't do it this way. I just watch this bit, and hopefully it will make sense when you do the movement. But you're going to reach your arms overhead, and you're going to let your ribs go. Okay, so let the ribs pop up off the mat. And now you're going to think, right, I'm going to pull my ribs down. You're going to visualize a seesaw. So as something goes down, something else is going to lift. Okay, so ribs are over, they're open. I'm going to pull my ribs down. I'm going to softly activate my seat because that's underneath me and it's strong, and it's going to help lift up my legs. So the weight of my ribs pulling down helps. Connecting my seat assists. Lower with control, let the ribs go. Pull the ribs down and use your seat, and all at the same time, up come the legs. And suddenly, your lower body is connected to your upper body. Last one. And pause. So if you can't, if it's too much on your back, just you can have your arms by your side, keep thinking, heavy ribs, arms up to the ceiling, and you're going to lower with control. You're going to have to work slightly harder here. Now imagine the underside of your body essentially pushing your legs towards you or pushing your legs up. Again, it's about finding the image that kind of works for you to help find that. So now we're going to go into bridge. Brilliant. So legs hip width apart, or you can bring them together. Actually, let's go hip width apart because we're thinking about the bun more. Arms are by the side. Okay, so I'm on 2 mats here, so I'm going to imagine I'm trying to pull this mat towards me the whole time. See, as I move, you can sort of see my legs engaging. So I'm going to keep squeezing that mat towards me as I roll up. And I'm going to feel my body weight move towards my heels and away from my chest away from my shoulders, and then I'm going to roll all the way back down. So again, I'm not actively clenching, because that's going to shift my pelvis. I'm pulling in and pushing my hips towards my feet. And again, you should feel it really switched on just underneath the buttock. It will make it much easier for you to drive through your heels to stand across your feet, because you are actually putting your weight into your legs. Okay, 2 more. And rest. Roll over onto your side. Nice long legs. Okay, we're going to start off with Lolita legs. Again, opportunity to try and find this connection. So you can be propped up on an elbow, you can be on a flat arm. You're in a straight line, legs are together and parallel, and your feet are flexed. You're going to lift your top leg to hip height. Just checking. And you're going to rotate in at the thigh bone. Actually, I'm going to pause. Yes, we are. I'm going to rotate in at the thigh bone. Come back to centre. Try and keep the hips still. Rotate out. Now that exercise from the start. Pull the heel up internally. Push the heel away. Rotate in. Rotate out. Pull the heel back. Push the heel away. Rotate in. Rotate out. Pull the heel back. You can feel that point on your leg. See if you can find it. Push the heel away and rest the leg down. Okay. And again, lift the leg to hip height. Rotate in. Rotate out. Pull the heel back. Feel it in your fingers. Push the heel away. Rotate in. Rotate out. Pull the heel back and push the heel away. Last one. And rest. Now lift the leg to hip height. Pull the heel back. Rotate out. Take the leg as high as you can go. Take it back as far as you can without overly leaning forwards. Can you lift higher? Can you turn out more with the hips stacked? And now circle. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. Keep lifting the leg up. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And rest. Fab. From here, you can take the legs forwards to the front diagonal so that you feel like you're in your long straight line. Back against the back edge of the mat now. Legs to your diagonal. Top leg's going to lift to hip height. Think of that point you've just activated. Pull the heel in to try and find it, and just sweep the leg forwards and back, and forwards and back. Keep sucking the heel into the buttock, forwards and back, and forwards and back. Lift the leg up, press it down, lift the leg up. Is it still engaged? And up, and down, and up, and down, and up. Heel to seat, and circle, circle. Pull the heel up inside that leg, circle, and reverse, around, 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 and rest. Perfect. Go to the other side. Lie in the middle of the mat first for your Lolita legs. Propped up or on a resting arm. Nice long line. Again, you can feel top leg lifts to hip height. You're going to rotate in, rotate out, and parallel. Pull the heel back and push the heel away. Rotate in and out. Pull the heel back and push the heel away. Rotate in and out. Pull the heel back and push the heel away and rest the leg. Your lower leg should feel warm. Your top leg is going to lift to hip height. Rotate in, rotate out. Pull the heel back, push the heel away. And again, turn in and out. Parallel, heel pulls back and it pushes away. One more time, turn in and out. And pull the heel back and push the heel away, rest the leg. Now lift that top leg to hip height. Pull the heel back from your seat. Check. Rotate out. Lift the leg higher than the hip. Take it behind you as far as you can. Can you turn out more? Can you lift it higher? Is the buttock switched on? Pull the heel in and circle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Reverse, turn out and lift, lift. That's it. Behind you, and rest the leg. Now take the back along the back edge of the mat. Legs forwards to the front edge. Top leg is going to lift to hip height with that turn out, a strong seat, and you're going to sweep it forwards and back and forwards and back. Now you'll notice my lower foot is actually pointed. Now that's because I find it easier to find my seat with a pointed foot, but technically you should have it flexed. Top leg lifts and lowers. So you go where you feel you can activate the seat of that leg. Just lift and lower, lift and lower. And that's why Pilates is different for everybody. Circle. Keep finding the seat of the circling leg, reverse. Keep reaching it long from the hip and rest. Roll over onto your back. Get a figure 4 stretch in this one. And then we're going to do a couple of roll-ups and some seal. So just take a little figure 4 stretch here. Should feel quite nice on the area that you've been working, aka your seat. And then bring yourself up to seated however you need to. Okay, so the reason why this powerhouse is important is because when you do things like roll-ups or teasers, the legs get forgotten. And our legs are really big, they're really powerful. So if we can find their strength and channel that, it's going to make everything a lot easier. So you're going to sit with your legs out straight. If you need to bend your knees for your roll-ups, bend the knees. And I want you to just see, particularly if your legs are straight, where do I need my feet to be to find my seat? And it will be different for everyone. Okay, some people can find it with a flexed foot, I can't. Some people can need it to be pointed. Just make sure you're not overly pointing the toes. You're pulling the heel backwards. It's very different. Okay. So with these legs, they should feel active. They should feel like they're hugging the mat together. They're holding it together. They're anchored. Now lie down. Keep that feeling. Keep your seat. Keep pulling the heels to your seat and your seat to your feet. Lift the head. Heel to seat, seat to heel. Roll up. Hold the mat together with your legs. Roll back down, hold the mat together with your legs, lift back up. You'll notice you don't slide so much. And now you have to lift over your legs with your spine to stretch forwards. Roll it down, heel to seat, seat to heel, roll up and stretch and pause. So hopefully that's helpful. If you were doing a teaser, it's exactly the same. You take your legs out, 45, find that connection, lift the head and roll up. It's going to help you to hold the legs still as you move. You might find that it's stronger on one side than the other, particularly if you've got slight instability with the hips. You know that there's one side of your body that's weaker than the other. Keep a check on what your feet are doing. Your feet will often be a clue or a guide that your buttock is maybe not, or the seat connection is maybe not firing quite as you want it to. Just something to consider. So now place your hands either behind your thighs, behind your knees, or through the legs, ready for seal. Okay, so seal, we get excited about the rolling. Why not? It's great fun. But see if you can use your bum to help lift you here. Okay, so legs are still, as in they're a fixed shape from your body. You're going to open and close the feet. Roll back with your belly. Now find your seat to pull you back up to the top. Open and close. Pull back with the belly. Push your bum to your feet to lift you back up. Clap, clap, clap. Pull the heels to your bottom. Push your bum to your feet. And then your legs won't swing out in front of you. So if you're here, you roll back, pull the heels back as you push the bum to the feet. You're less likely to pull yourself up with your legs. So that was a bit of a waffly one, but I really hope that you find it helpful and that you found all of these videos helpful to give you a sense of the three main powerhouses that plug in together to form your super strong powerhouse. So have a play around, see how you get on.